Okay. First, pi is a population proportion. So remember, proportion means like fraction, decimal, percentage. It's a percentage of the population with a certain trait, a proportion of the population with a certain trait. Since it is a number related to the population, it is a parameter. And since we're talking about a proportion with a certain trait, this could only be used for categorical data. We'd ask things like, what percentage of the Skittles in the entire set of all Skittles is red? What percentage of all adult males are taller than 5'9"? What percentage of students in the school had a GPA below 3.0? So we're asking about a percentage of a population with a certain trait. That's what pi would represent, that unknown population proportion, that unknown population percentage. Mu is a population mean. So it's an average of an entire population. Again, it's a parameter because it's a number related to an entire population. We'd only use this for quantitative data. Mean, remember, is found by adding up all the numbers and dividing by the number of data values. So it has to be numbers in your data set. So you can only find mu if you're talking about quantitative data. So mu is the mean of the entire population. For example, what is the mean amount of income for the entire set of adults in the US? What is the mean height of all female adults in the US? What is the mean GPA of all DCC students? Those are examples of population mean, the mean of the entire population, mu. P hat is the sample proportion of success. So up here we had pi, which is the population proportion. This is p hat, the sample proportion. These two go together. They're going to be paired. You're interested in finding pi, the population proportion. So you go out and collect a sample and you find the p hat, which is the proportion of success in your sample. That means it's a statistic. It's a number from your sample. P hat would only be used for categorical data. You're trying to find the percentage of all DCC students who ride a bike to campus. You can't talk to every single DCC student, so you sample 100 DCC students and find what percentage of those 100 students ride a bike. P hat would be that sample proportion of students who ride their bike. P hat is a statistic, only used for categorical. And lastly then, X bar. X bar is a sample mean. It's a statistic. It's a number that you get from a sample. Again, this only comes from quantitative data. So it's going to be paired with mu. You're interested in finding the mean of the entire population, but since you can rarely gather all population data because the set's too big, instead you gather a sample from that population and you get the mean of your sample. So for example, I may want to know the average GPA of all DCC students. I can't possibly talk to every single DCC student, so instead I take a sample of DCC students and I find the mean GPA of my sample of students. That mean GPA from my sample would be X bar. It's a statistic.